All right, I like to take a lot of questions from people and sort of give them a general idea of how I do something necessarily. And the way I do it is not necessarily the way everybody does it. And I never claim to be a great teacher or a great whittler or whatever. But when people ask me questions, I mean, I've been doing it a long time, and I try to work with them through this sense. Now, one of the questions that I received was, and it's a very good question, the person was speaking that they don't use a bandsaw, but they use a block of wood, simply a block of wood to carve with. And a lot of your YouTube video people are using simply a block of wood now, rather than cutting out with a bandsaw. I prefer to cut things out with a bandsaw. So much easier and where I don't have to go. But I've carved a lot of videos out of a block of wood. But what the question was they're having trouble getting the hand in position to hold something. Now, what you have to understand is, I'm not sure of the whole thing, but there are different positions that a hand can be in where you hold something. It can be out front, it can be, now for instance, here's some, okay, here's a figure that I carved, and the hand is at the side and it's holding a briefcase. Okay? Now what do you want? Is it to the side here that you're holding something? Is it to the front or whatever? But here's an example of a carving of someone holding a piece from the side. So that's one way of holding, okay? Another way of holding. Here's one of my hobos. Here's the hand holding his piece that goes to the back here with his little suitcase. That is a form of holding something. Now, you know, and the hand is toward the front, right in here, okay? So that is a form of holding something. You know, a carving where the hand pokes out and is holding something. Then you have also, for instance, this older man that I carved here, you have the hand holding a, very similar to the other one, but it's holding a cane going down, okay? So first you have to establish what way do you want the hand to hold. And I'm not trying to be funny, but I mean that's true. What do you want the hand to do? Do you want it, and I think what they're talking about is probably something out front here that they can work with. So I'm assuming that's what we're talking about. So what I've taken is a piece that is 1 3/4, excuse me, 1 3/4, 1 3/8 by 1 3/8 by 3.5 inches long. And I'm going to show you how you can get that hand to come out here and it can hold something. Like I said, I've had these guys that I've carved that have a bouquet of flowers in their hands or whatever it is. It's just whatever you decide that you want the piece to do. So that's the first thing. If it's in the side, then you have to draw the hand down here and in a matter of speaking down here, just like this, and so that it can be holding, and you make it thick enough where that you can drill a hole into it. But we're going to be concerned about this area right in here. So once again, I'm going to come up here about, I'm going to establish my shoe line right here, which is about 1/2 inch right here. Now, one of the things that you do not want to do when you start off, if you want the hand out here, is you do not want to take these corners off. If you want to take the back side, you have to establish where your front and your back is. If you want to take it off, this is your back side, you can take off as much as you want on the back. but not on the front, because you're going to use that squareness for that hand, okay? So let's go ahead and let's establish our shoe line, okay? And I'm gonna make some thin shoes here. And remember, the wind's rough today. It's tough today. Remember, like in any carving, okay, you have the shoes. Oh. You have the shoes, you have the feet, you have the body, and you have the head. Okay? And the reason I use a bandsaw to cut out with is because, now, if I use a bandsaw to cut out, many times I'll have the hand extending out even further, okay, so that it can hold something. I can cut out the side figure like that, where the hand extends out further than what it normally would necessarily with a block. So, that's one of the reasons I like to cut my stuff out, so that I can prepare or get ready for it. But I know people don't have bandsaws, so we're going to work from a block of wood right here, okay? And actually the same thing, the same symmetrical thing deals with a block of wood, just like that. Okay. Now, we've started on our block of wood. Now, this is going to be our feet. All right, our head, I'm just going to randomly draw this because what we're doing, and I'm not really going to carve the head, okay? Well, I guess I can. I guess I can carve the head, but let me go ahead and do this. Let me go ahead and come up here. Let's take some wood off. And continue to take some wood off here. And another thing too, whenever I cut my figures out, when I make a pattern, I'll make the head sticking further out, in other words. And I do that so that I can make the head much bigger and get more character out of the face and things like that. Because I've always believed that the face is the main thing you're looking at. Not all the time, and that's it. But the face has a lot to do with the character. Now, at the back, right back here, we can take off, you know, these corners, which is no problem. Which is not a big issue. I wouldn't go down too far until I got my, but I mean, as far as just shaping the back corners of this, it's not a big problem, in other words. My hands are getting old, worn out. A lot of years of carving. I've been very fortunate that I have not produced carpal. I have produced some arm issues, but not carpal. So I've been very blessed by the Lord that I have not had that situation. Okay, now, let's just bring, for instance, let's just bring the head kind of like this. I was, you know, kind of down like this. Okay, and let's bring this up like this. Okay, now what we have to determine is what we want. I don't think I'm going to do the head. I'm just going to work on the body, which is what you're looking at, okay? Now remember, these are very important for the hand, okay? If you want the hand to come forward at all right? I'll see. Okay. But don't take this area down. Now on the other side, if you just want the hands to go in the pockets and you had said something like that, I'm going to cut off a lot of this stuff. Okay, let's just say, now on this side, we're going to put the hands in the pocket. Okay? So we can take off a little bit of this right in here. Now we want to come somewhere about in right in here. We come down. And we just kind of cut this way. And what we're going to do is, let's come back with this a little bit, come down. We're doing the hands in the pocket, folks, so that's not where we're going to, that's not what we're you know, so I can do this pretty fast. Okay. All right, so on one side, we do have the hands in the pockets. Okay? And we come back here and bring that down. All right, now, we want to figure out okay, it's going to kind of be like this, okay, where it comes up here and sort of levels off here. Okay, and the same thing here. All right, so we want to establish, first of all, what we're talking about here. Now, what I usually do is you want to use this corner, okay? So I come out here and I figure out about where the hand wants to be and what he's going to be doing. For instance, let's just say that he's holding some flowers or something like that. I don't know. So I come out here about at the middle, and I draw a little square, and I draw it bigger than what it should be, because that's what I do, so that, see, you draw a little square like that. Okay? Now from here, you want to come out from that point. You want to come out. You want to come out here, and then you want to come down here like this. And from this point, which is the top of the hand, you want to come like this and up like this. Okay? We come like that and up like that. See? I'm going to do it again. You draw your square right up here, okay? And from that, your hand comes this way and this way. And then from here, the top of the hand, and make your hand bigger, because then you can always cut it down. If you make your hand too small, then you have issues. Okay. Now, from this point, I told you from the very top of it, we come here and we come up like this. Okay. And let me show you how that works. We cut down. And we come out here and we be very careful and we cut there. And we cut there. So if you see the direction of what we're talking about as we begin to remove the wood, you'll see how this works. Now I'm going to cut here, and I'm going to come up here, and I'm going to cut here. And I'm going to take this section of wood out right here. And we're going to take some more out. But start off, and I take some more out. Okay. See that? Now, our whole purpose is to get this hand forward in front of this body. Okay? And that's done by cutting away from this area, just like this. Making it thicker by removing areas below that to make this thicker. And then you want to take and you want to come out and bring that up like that. And then you want to cut away from the body with the edge of the knife and bring it out like that. And then you want to cut this down right here, very slowly. Begin to remove that wood. See what I'm doing? Removing that wood like that. Okay? Now, you want to remove as much of this wood inside here as you possibly can, which means you make a series of cuts. A series of cuts like that. Okay? I'm sorry, you hear the and then you come over here and you start removing some of this wood in here, okay? To bring this down so that this hand will stand out. Okay? And if the hand is a little bit bigger, don't worry about it. And you come up underneath here and you begin removing the body away from that hand so that it looks like it's sticking out. See? You see that? Now, of course, this will have to be brought back and removed. But if you look from the side here, then the hand is beginning to get some leverage, okay? And leverage means it's getting some okay? Now you're going to come down like here because this elbow goes in. You're going to cut in like this, okay? Now you don't have to do it that way because I'm a stickler for cutting planes, as we might say. It's just a matter of cuts. And then you begin removing areas like in here. Takes this in here. As you remove this wood, from the chest to the body, then this arm becomes sticking out. Now, once again, I don't know now the different ways that you can use this is, for instance, this is the same way that I use for carving the hand with the old man with the cane down here. All I do is I take this and I cut it up and around and through here. But that's not what we're going to do here, okay? All right. Now, if I'm making something like this, the hobo, which I make a lot of, then actually the hand, if you look at it, it's actually not that much further, okay, than this. It really isn't. And then I have the little hobo stick coming up and going out. So it's not really that much further, okay? So basically, there is a lot that is the same. Okay. Now, so that hand from the side is starting to really stick out here. You start removing parts of the body. Okay. Now, from the side, you can see, just a minute, let me cut this right here. You can see that this hand, you can drill through it or whatever it is. Let's say he's holding a stick, okay? Let's put it where he's going to be holding a stick instead of instead of flowers, okay? Say he's a hiker, say whatever, in other words. Okay, then you continue to remove the wood from the body just like this, okay? All right. Now, ooh, I'm sorry. All right, I gotta go get my pencil. I dropped my pencil and it rolled. I mean, it rolled. There we go. Let me get it here. Okay. Keep myself from stabbing myself.